We are dissecting one of the most embarrassing moments in recent Nigeria media history. Daniel Bwala's appearance on Jazeera head-to-head with Mehdi Hasan. Bwala, once a fierce Tinubu critic, now special advisor on media and policy communications, went on global TV to defend the renewed hope, or maybe renewed hopelessness agenda. Instead, he got grilled on security failures, economic hardship, and corruption allegations, and crucially, his own past words. Let's watch this video before we continue.
Nigeria is a proud, sovereign, independent nation, a powerhouse in Africa. So why did you just let Donald Trump and the United States bomb your country on Christmas Day?
The United States government did not bomb our country. The decision by the US government was anchored on the intelligence sharing between Nigeria and the United States and the agreement on the operation.
So Donald Trump just didn't bomb Nigeria at his own whim?
No. The US Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, called our own foreign affairs minister when the decision was made that that was the time to strike, and the foreign affairs minister got in touch with the president.
So this was a joint operation, you're saying?
Yes, it was a joint operation. On the Nigerian...
What I don't understand is, how can it be a joint operation? When Donald Trump says that there is a genocide going on against Christians carried out by Muslims with your government turning a blind eye. You have a history of not hitting terrorists and hitting civilians. You know that, right? Your country.
I'm not aware.
Oh, well, on December 21st, the Nigerian Air Force said that they handed over compensation to people who were hit in an accidental airstrike on Christmas Day 2024. Do you just bomb every Christmas?
When and when?
Christmas Day 2024 and Christmas Day 2025.
I dispute that fact.
Let me ask you this. Since President Tinubu came to office in 2023, the situation has worsened in your country. You have a mixture of militant groups, you have bandits, you have clashes between herders and farmers.
We also have
Nigeria is now
of foreign interest in Nigeria.
Nigeria is now the 5th deadliest country in the world. Are you proud of that record?
I acknowledge the fact that we have insecurity in Nigeria. And until the hoax narrative of the Christian genocide, then we began to see back-to-back attack in Nigeria. We had, for the first 2 years of the president's administration, a substantial peace in Nigeria. Since 9/11, terrorism is a global phenomenon.
Agreed.
And so every country is involved in it.
But it's getting worse in Nigeria, that's the problem.
I can't say it is getting worse.
You just agreed with me when I gave you the numbers.
No, I said...
8,700 killed in 2023, right. 11,000 killed in 2025. That's getting worse.
How many people were killed in the United States last year?
In conflict-related violence, probably.
So this is not a conflict. This is an act of terrorism.
Okay. So how many people were killed in the United States in terrorism? It wasn't 11,000.
This is part of what Donald Trump, many years ago in his first term, classified the Western media as what? Fake news. The reason is because context matters.
This is not Western media.
You are well aware.
This is not Western media.
Yes, I understand. But
this is the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data, ACLED, the most respected group that counts conflict-related violence around the world.
Let me ask you. Where there is a terrorist
attack, I could also give you another source.
Conflict?
I mean, National Human Rights Commission. This is a Nigerian group. 2,266 people were killed by bandits or insurgents in the first half of 2025. That's more than were killed in all of 2024. You are failing. Amnesty International says you are failing at security. The numbers don't lie.
It's unfortunate, and as a government,
and it's getting worse.
We're working day and night
and
to
it's getting
deal with
worse.
That situation. I don't agree to the fact that it's getting worse.
How can it not get worse if more people die in 1 year than the previous year?
Context matters.
What's the context?
The context is not getting worse.
What?
Yes.
The context is not getting worse?
The context is that it is not getting worse because, you see, this is a water, right? Okay. If you have the water half, you could say half glass filled or half empty. Yeah. Isn't it right?
Yeah.
So the Western media always see Nigeria, Africa, and some of the activities in Africa as half empty. Excuse me. But we see it as half full because when we look at it, and when I say context matter, before the president took the oath of office, we knew the situation in Nigeria.
And you made it worse. 1 in 3 Nigerians say they personally know someone who's been kidnapped.
Yeah, you have
These are stunning statistics. Amnesty, Human Rights Watch have lined up to say that you have allowed impunity to flourish, you have failed to apply lessons from previous attacks, damning indictments of your security service.
I put it to you, that's not what they said.
That's not what Amnesty said?
Yes. Amnesty...
I've literally got the quote right here.
Quote it.
The authorities' failure has allowed impunity to flourish and the killings to spread to many parts of the country.
Source.
Amnesty International, February 8th, 2026.
Well, I'm not aware of that one.
Aware of that one.
I am aware. I'm aware.
At the weekend, you put out a video to music of you and a team researching and prepping for this show. And yet every time I've asked you something, you say, I'm not aware of that. What were you researching in that video?
You're really funny.
Governments who do bad things, they all criticize human rights groups.
No.
Yeah, they do. I do this
that.
for a living. Let's ask about corruption before we go to our panel who are waiting patiently here. Transparency International, they say systemic corruption continues to plague the defense sector, causes a major hindrance to security. President Tinubu said in August, there is no more corruption in Nigeria. That's a ridiculous thing to say, is it not?
We investigate any case of corruption, not just in the defense, but anywhere in government. This administration has had lots of people who are in government either sacked or investigated and being prosecuted. The resolve of our administration in dealing with corruption is obvious.
Why did he say there's no more corruption?
You probably read him out of context.
No, I didn't.
No, read exactly what he said. You're cherry picking. How can someone just stand and say there is no corruption in Nigeria?
It is getting clearer to the people. We have more money to the economy and no more corruption. Full stop, close quote.
Good. So this is the context. He was communicating to the people about the exploit we're having as a result of the decision to remove fuel subsidy. We dealt with the question of corruption in the oil industry.
And that's not what he said, but okay, he didn't say anything about the oil industry.
That's why I say context matters.
Well, you can't just make up the context. He didn't say anything about the oil industry. He said we have more money to the economy and no more corruption. In fact, he was criticized in Nigeria for this. Last question on this. How can Nigerians take Tinubu seriously on eliminating corruption when he appoints someone like Abubakar Bagudu as Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, a man who, according to the US Justice Department, with others, embezzled, misappropriated, defrauded and extorted billions with a B from the government of Nigeria under the dictator Sani Abacha. Bagudu avoided criminal charges. He cut a deal with the Nigerian government, returned some of the money. But the president literally put Nigeria's budget in the hands of a man who's accused of looting billions of dollars.
Use long term is what we're promising. We decided to also involve intervention mechanism in dealing with some of the hardship that the people undergo. Now, when that decision was made in May 2023, it was hellish. But as I speak to you today, the numbers, the indices, and the stats are favorable to the economic reform that we have introduced. Our foreign reserve has increased substantially. Our net import dependency went down. Our export production capacity has gone up. Our naira is strengthened. We have provided opportunities for families who could not afford to send their kids to school to access grant and go and have their education. Cost of fee, tuition fee, as well as the cost of living.
You mentioned school. 20,000 schools in Nigeria have been shut in the last few months because of these kidnapping attacks.
Correct.
18 million Nigerian school children are not going to school, according to the UN. That is the highest number anywhere in the world.
Because
You're proud of that?
No, I'm not proud of that because of insecurity. But the measures we're taking now, we're restoring them back to their schools. And some of them whose schools are located in places where there are no governed spaces, we're bringing them back into towns. So when you give out your stats or your opinion about an issue, also incorporate this fact so that the viewer will look at, yes, there is an obvious fact that because of the policy decision that it brought kind of untold hardship, but also we are making progress in this regard.
So I agree with you. That's a fair point. We should look at things in the round, and you pointed out things you've done well. But then you need to do the same thing. Do you accept then that the poverty numbers are going in the wrong direction?
Yeah, sure. It's like
that's the crucial one for a lot of Nigerians.
Yeah, no, but numbers don't lie.
141 million people in 2026 are going to be living in poverty in Nigeria. 62% of the population.
Then I explain to you why. Context matters.
I agree context matters. It's a failure. What you did produced 62% in poverty.
So the IMF, the World Bank, and the Brentwood, they have applauded the reform decision we took. Now, tell me one country of the world that will introduce that kind of reform and there won't be consequential effect in terms of hardship. Even in the United Kingdom, as we speak, there is a cost of living crisis. Are you aware?
No, I'm not aware. Tinubu of Nigeria. Let's talk more about your boss, President Tinubu. He's been on the political scene in Nigeria for decades, first as governor of Lagos and now as president since 2023. He's a very rich man in a very impoverished country, and there's a lot of mystery as to where he got his wealth, estimated to be in the billions of dollars. What do you say to people who highlight allegations against him of, quote, massive corruption and misappropriation of funds?
That's their opinion.
Actually, it's your opinion. In January 2023, you talked about the legal petition against him that involves, quote, massive corruption and misappropriation of funds. You were in the opposition and were very critical of his wealth.
Exactly verbatim what I said, because what you just said is not a true representation.
January 22nd, 2023, you said the petition against him involves massive corruption and misappropriation of funds belonging to the government of Lagos State, abuse of official office, conflict of interest.
I'm glad you said the petition against him.
Yeah.
Yeah, document that was taken to court.
That you highlighted.
I wasn't the one that went to court. And at that time, where was I?
You were an opposition member.
Thank you.
So should we not trust you when you say things as opposition?
What is the job of opposition?
To oppose?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you know it.
For the sake of opposing?
No, that's what you're adding.
I mean, you didn't just say that.
No, go to Westminster on Wednesday by 9 o'clock.
Okay.
You'll understand the job of the opposition.
You can do whataboutism all day, that's fine. You also said that, well, you know what doesn't happen in Westminster in the US Congress?
I know what does happen.
Well, I'm telling you what doesn't happen. Politicians don't accuse other politicians of setting up a militia.
They also accuse the governing party.
You said at the time.
On mistake in judgment in appointing someone that eventually turned out to be somebody in the FC.
Yeah, if you think that this is comparable to Starmer and Mandel said, good luck to you if that's your defense tonight. You said at the time that Tinubu started a militia to sway the election corruptly and that they even threatened you. So how can we take anything seriously you say tonight in his defense?
Your opinion, Nigerians.
So my opinion is your opinion. Sorry, Daniel, it's your opinion.
That was litigated in Nigeria to conclusion, and then as a country we moved on. We are more interested about the deliverables that we have for the Nigerian people, and we look for opportunities.
Nigerians are very concerned about corruption, and Tinubu, you said this. Tinubu and his people created a militia. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria we've seen a political party creating a militant arm leading to election. Your words, January 2023.
Context is everything.
There is no context.
I'm coming. You are quoting the things I said when I was in the opposition.
And I understand that's uncomfortable for you, but you did say them. If you want to disown them, that's fine.
For you to ask anything I've ever said.
So does he have a militia that tried to kill you?
He doesn't have. I never said he tried to kill me.
I myself have received threats from him and his camp. Your words.
I never said that.
You didn't say that at a press conference on January 22nd, 2023. You're just denying.
I never said that.
Who said it then?
There is also this threat to life, and I can tell you that because I myself have received threats from Asiwaju and his camp, and this is evident, is everywhere I've reported to law enforcement. A lot of people have been threatened. I am not surprised because a militia has been created, and I'm calling on the government to look into that. So finally, gentlemen of the press, there are many other wide range of issues that will come in the coming days, but this is just the introduction of what I have to say. I will yield the floor to our next speaker, who will in detail speak about the reason why we are here today. Thank you, sir.
All right. We heard him right. He denied all these things he said. He denied all. Let's replay this as if I am interviewing him right now. I will ask the hard questions he dodged or denied and break down why this matters for Tinubu. Question 1. Mr. Bwala, in January 2023, you publicly accused Bola Tinubu of creating a militia to rig the election and influence votes corruptly. You said it on record, yet on Jazeera, when Mehdi Hasan played clips and quoted you, you flat out said, I never said that. Tinubu didn't create a militia, and I never said that. Why the outright denial? Was it amnesia, or are you rewriting history to keep your job? My viewers, this isn't minor. Bwala was Atiku's ally then, blasting Tinubu as corrupt and election manipulating. Now in power, he erases it. That's not opposition zeal. That's convenient lying. Question 2. You also claim suspicious cash movements in Tinubu's residence during the election period, implying fraud, which we all saw as well. Hasan confronted you with your own words. Response? I never said that. Again, how do you explain videos and quotes circulating that prove otherwise? Are Nigerians supposed to believe your past self was hallucinating or what? This pattern of denial is textbook gaslighting. Bwala even complained post-interview that producers didn't warn him about his past, but he prepped with a team. He posted videos dancing to music while researching, yet every tough fact, I am not aware, I dispute that. Classic evasion. Question 3. On security, Nigeria ranks among the world's worst for terrorism. Hasan cited civilian bombings by the Air Force, including a Christmas 2024 accidental strike where compensation was paid. You said, I am not aware, then I dispute that fact, even when told the Nigerian Air Force admitted it. You deflected. Take it up with them, Mr. Bwala, as a government spokesman. How are you not aware of your own military's admissions? Is this ignorance or deliberate cover-up to protect Tinubu's image? The interview exposed how Tinubu's team dodges accountability. Insecurity persists, poverty worsens under subsidy removals, and naira floats, yet the narrative is progress. Bwala's deniers help sustain that illusion. Question 4. Let's talk corruption. Hasan pressed on Tinubu's alleged personal graft, past accusations of misappropriation. You deflected to context or denied knowledge, but your own self called Tinubu massively corrupt. Now you are his mouthpiece. How does this flip benefit Tinubu? Simple. It normalizes hypocrisy. Former critics like you, Reno, Omokri, FFK, get co-opted whitewashing corruption's probe. Tinubu's Chicago drug for feature case, asset declarations swept under, all politics. Your lies shield the president from scrutiny, letting alleged systematic graft, oil theft budget padding continue unchecked. Question 5. Post-interview, you said it was hard to defend Tinubu. You accused Jazeera of opposition-style journalism for not pre-warning you. But isn't that the point of journalism? Holding power accountable. Your deniers went viral, embarrassing Nigeria globally, while prioritized personal loyalty over national truth. Tinubu benefits because these performances distract from failures, hunger, insecurity, youth unemployment. As long as spokespeople deny reality, the regime survives scrutiny ahead of 2027 polls. Final question. Mr. Bwala, your children and grandchildren will see this interview forever. Denying your own recorded words. No shame. How does that serve Nigeria or just Tinubu's grip on power? My viewers, this isn't just one bad interview. It's symptomatic. A government relying on flip-floppers who lie boldly, deny evidence to protect the boss. Tinubu gains short-term cover, corruption shielded, failures downplayed. But long-term, it erodes trust, fuels cynicism, and weakens democracy. What do you think? Drop comments or DMs. Until next time, seek truth, demand accountability. This is Mr. Truth Naija signing off. Thanks for watching.